Hi, Cecil.
Oh, hi, Brian. Oh, I didn't know I was muted or not.
Um,
We turn off the music.
you've been busy today.
Yeah, I have to figure out the sound in the room. There's a couple of options. I'm trying to do the least expensive, which is zero, and I'm close to doing it. But people saw me running up and downstairs, turning on the AV system, turning it off. I may have to push some wiring downstairs, but we'll figure that out. There goes Margarita.
I heard the mayor just come storming in. She should be joining us here.
All right. I don't see her yet.
There's
Yeah,
no-
I check my email to see if I got I can't find the link or got lost in the email or something.
Should be in their calendars.
Yep. Let's see. Let me turn the. Let me stop sharing the screen so we can see. There we go. There goes Margarita.
Did I miss something about a missed link or something?
No, I did, as a matter of, I guess, procedure, whenever I do a meeting, I always check my voicemail, check my email, check my text to see if there's last minute, I can't find the links, but they have the same link that everybody else has, which is a meeting. There we go. Sergio in.
Hi, everyone.
Hello,
So
good afternoon.
Hello?
Hi. Hi, Sergio.
Can you hear me okay? I was having audio issues earlier.
Yeah, we got you. How are you doing?
My
Can you hear me?
camera's pretty unstable too, so if you see me go dark and muted, it may just be my camera.
I can hear you okay, Sergio. Can you hear us? Can you hear me, Sergio?
oh, it looks like he can't. His signal looks. The signals look good, but let me just see if.
Let me text him.
Yeah. Looks like he froze. No, he's there. Never mind.
Can you hear me, Sergio? Can you hear me talking? You can hear me, Margarita?
I can
Cecil,
hear you, yes.
I don't think he can hear us.
No.
I just texted him. He's
Okay.
looking, he's
Thank
looking
you.
at his text.
A while ago, I saw this mug at a store. I don't know, it's kind of like a therapy type of store. And it was just like a white coffee mug, and the letters on it said, "You're muted."
Yeah,
And I thought I laughed at it, and I regret not buying it, because it'd be kind of cool to just have this and it says like "you're muted."
yeah. Just hold up your coffee mug.
I could probably find it on Amazon. I should do that. I'll look at it.
Hey, everyone, that's me calling in by phone. I've been having audio issues for whatever reason.
Oh, no problem. We could hear you. I don't think you could hear us.
No. And this is a totally different computer, so it's not even the same audio issue.
Well, you solved it. I
No.
can hear you fine. Can you hear us okay right now?
Yeah, I get it just because I'm on the phone. Yep.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
I'll just have my video muted.
I think we're waiting for Liz to join us here. I thought my door's closed. I thought I heard her voice out there, so I think she's trying to get on the. Let me stick my head out and see if she's joining us. I'm sorry to keep everyone waiting. Let me make sure she's logging on here.
Hey, Brian, she just popped in.
Oh, there she is.
Okay, sorry, I was here, but I was yakking. Okay, so we are having the subcommittee meeting. Do I need to read the whole thing? I probably do, because this is a public meeting.
Probably best.
Yeah, so this is the legislative subcommittee of the city of Campbell. To protect our constituents, city officials, and city staff, and the city requests all members of the public to follow the guidelines of the California Department of Health Services and the County of Santa Clara Health Office or Officer Order to help control the spread of COVID-19. This legislative subcommittee meeting will be conducted via telecommunications and is compliant with provisions of the Brown Act and Executive Order N29-20 issued by the governor. The following subcommittee members are listed to permit them to appear electronically or telephonically at the legislative subcommittee meeting of today, April 15th, 2021. Sergio Lopez, Councilmember Sergio Lopez, and Mayor Elizabeth Gibbons. Members of the public will not be able to attend the meeting at the Campbell City Council chamber physically. The legislative subcommittee meeting will be live streamed on YouTube. Public comment for the city council meeting will be accepted via email prior to the meeting. Please indicate the subject line for public comment as appropriate. And written comments received by 12 p.m. on Thursday will be posted. And Madam Acting City Clerk, do we have any members of the public on this call? I'm trying to get prepared.
So our acting city clerk is not on the call, but I can answer that question. We did not receive any comments for either public speakers or written comments.
Thank you, Margarita. Appreciate that. Okay. So with that, I will call this meeting to order. And as is typical with subcommittee meetings, we do have a public comment period prior to the discussion. And since there are none, we will close that portion of the meeting and begin with new business, which is item 1, 2021 state legislation bills to watch. And Margarita, are you going to lead us off on this one?
Sure. This is now our third subcommittee meeting, one of the attachments is a matrix, a legislative bills matrix that is a carrying list of all the various bills that you have discussed or brought to city staff attention for tracking. We've made progress discussing several ones, but not all. And in particular, there was 4 bills that are highlighted on your agenda where the subcommittee members expressed an interest in discussion before determining what direction to give staff. The first bill that's highlighted is SB 9, which is a housing bill. The League of the Cal Cities changed their position from a watch to oppose. Prior to that change in position, the legislative subcommittee was also watching this bill and did not express a position. We are bringing this to your attention in case you want to direct staff now to also take an opposed position on behalf of the city and prepare a draft letter for your review. The second bill is a communications bill, SB 556. It has to do with broad approval for entities to put small wireless facility attachments to public facilities, to including traffic signals. It was brought forward by the mayor as an item to pay attention to, and I spoke with public works staff who was also aware of the bill, and was expressed some concerns regarding the local control issue. And a draft letter was prepared and was attached to your packet. The third one is a clean energy bill, SB 67, that both subcommittee members expressed an interest in discussing to determine if a staff position would be a council position, subcommittee position would be recommended. And the last bill is SB 619, which was brought forward by Council Member Landry, who was recommending a support position so that the city, so that all the regulations imposed by SB 1383 would be postponed to a later date as opposed to beginning implementation in this year and the next. So those are the bills that I
Okay.
highlighted.
And I think I sent you some information on SB 612, which I think has a date. And then, Brian, there were two bills from the Water Department from our meeting this past week that we may not have a date on. I think 612 has a date coming up. So I wanted to bring that one up. And then, what else? Councilmember Lopez, did you have any others that you wanted? There's a lot coming, obviously, hot and fast. And I've been sending out copies of legislative summaries from various organizations to see if anything rings a bell with anybody.
The item that I received yesterday, I'm not sure if it was 612 or not, but it was after our posting deadline, so that's why it wasn't included in this packet. But I can track as 612.
Okay, so we may need to clarify the regulations. So I think that this subcommittee or the chair of the subcommittee can act when time is of the essence in between meetings. So that may be something we want to keep an eye on doing for 612. And do you remember the water department ones, Brian? I might have written them down.
You're talking about the water district ones that we talked to about last week? I
Yeah.
don't have those at my fingertip, but we can add those in there. I have them. I'll have to go back in my meeting notes.
I just pulled up the text, the information on SB 12, and there's a hearing on the 26th. It's going to the Senate Energy and Utilities Commission on April 26th.
Oh,
Right. We
one
need
was
it.
AB Liz, one was AB 271. That was the Anderson Dam, had to do with the Anderson Dam.
Okay.
And there was, the other one they mentioned was a safe, clean bill that we're already tracking.
Okay. So we want to be sure and add that other one to our list.
Marguerite, did you get that? It was AB 271.
I did, thank you.
And Councilmember Lopez, did you have any you wanted to add?
None to add. I mean, I have comments on all the above. Well, the only thing I'll flag now is that if we discuss SB 556 on telecommunications, per our previous discussions with the mayor and city manager, I would recuse myself from that discussion. But otherwise, the subcommittee is free to do so.
Yes, thank you for reminding us of that. Thank you. So we can organize it so that you can be off the call when we discuss that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So SB 9. Councilmember Lopez, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I saw the draft letter, which I reviewed beforehand. I'm fine with this. It seems in line with our previous discussions on this bill.
So you're okay to oppose?
Yeah. Well, just to clarify, this letter is opposed unless amended, right? I'm supportive of going forward with that. I know the Cal Cities is opposed, but I think there's value to having that level of input. But I think generally this is in line with what we discussed.
Yeah. So I'm inclined to oppose straight out. So help me understand why you think we should say oppose unless amended.
Just the last line, unless amended to allow cities to determine a range of lot sizes suitable for these development projects, continue to determine parking standards. I think bills of this type often are amended, and I think there is value to having that input. Again, I think that if we sent in an opposed letter, it wouldn't be too far off from where the discussions that we've had. But I'd like to, if there's a chance of having some influence or putting that stake in the ground, I think that's a positive.
Okay, so I didn't pull my notes up. Margarita, can you help me? Did this, your note here on the agenda says consider position based on Cal Cities and change to oppose. But in your email from April 1st, it said Cal Cities said oppose unless amended. So that's the change between April 1st and today, April 15th. They've gone to a straight oppose.
Let me confirm. I know that if they've gone to straight oppose, the first change was that they went from a watch to oppose. Cal Cities. Let me.
Yeah, I'm looking for what I sent you.
Yeah, but I since you're asking, I want to make sure that I give you.
Yeah.
Information.
Yeah.
So, oh no, it's oppose unless amended.
Okay. So, Councilmember Lopez, I would support your oppose unless amended. And we can tweak what we need on the letter to fit with that.
Okay, sounds good to me.
I think the letter is okay because as Councilmember Lopez pointed, the last paragraph had language that said unless amended. So we've specifically, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I don't know, my camera. But I think that we do have language in there too that fits with the current oppose unless amended position. And it was just the lack of including the unless amended on the agenda next to the bill language, but
Okay,
thank you.
Yep, no, that's what we're doing. We're chatting and getting it organized. Okay, so I'm fine with, and I think Councilmember Lopez just indicated he was fine with that.
Yep, yeah, the letter looks fine.
Okay. We'll skip the 5556. We'll go to SB 67. That was discussed at Silicon Valley Clean Energy's board meeting last night. And apropos of your comments, this one's undergoing a great many changes, all very positive. And Silicon Valley Clean Energy and other CCAs are working directly with Senator Becker. So do we have a time frame on this one?
We're talking about 556?
No, we're talking about SB 67, Becker.
Oh, I'm sorry. Becker, yeah, I see that. Sorry. Let me tell you. Margarita, are you there? Are you able to hear us?
Did we lose Margarita?
Let me pull it up.
But it does say hearing date 4/26. Senate Energy, Utilities and Communications.
Yeah, so we need to act on this one. And the recommendation coming from Silicon Valley was support with amendments. So this is, we've been chatting, Councilmember Lopez. We have all these language options, oppose unless amended, support unless amended, however, so this is one which we would support with amendments. So I think.
Yeah, it looks like it is set for hearing April 26th.
Yes, I apologize. My camera and my connection's not stable, so I went out. But yes, the matrix is correct. It's going to committee on the 26th. And if you would like to take an oppose unless amended position, it'd be helpful if I can understand what the amendments you would like to see in the bill, so I can reference that in the bill.
Sorry, on we're talking SB 67 now?
Yes.
Support. We're saying support with amendments.
Oh, support with amendments.
Yeah. And I might have gotten some talking points from Silicon Valley Clean Energy to provide you. I'll look at my emails and I can give those to you. Okay. And SB 619. I know about this. I'm not sure what our date is on this one, based on your notes here, SB 619.
It goes to hearing on the 29th, and usually the letters are due about a week prior.
Yeah.
I did check with Public Works staff on this bill, and their understanding is that it may not make it to a full vote. And as most public agencies are, everybody's preparing for implementation of SB 1383. So they saw no, they didn't have a position recommendation on this bill, being that
No benefit one way or the other.
correct.
Okay, so I don't know enough about whether we want to say support with amendments, oppose unless amendment. I don't know what the right language would be here. I'm a little concerned about jumping off a cliff here, given what Public Works said.
Yeah, and California cities has got this as a watch.
Okay.
They're not taking a position yet either.
So, Councilmember Lopez, your thoughts?
I'd like to put this on under watch for now. I also would like to learn a little bit more about it first.
Okay, so we won't comment. The description of it is on page 9 of our attachment. We just want on this first round of comments and see what happens to it in terms of the committee.
And before, and not to cut you off from here in case you had more on this one, but before we go to the next one, can I go back with some questions about SB 9 for a second?
Sure.
You have today as the hearing date, so I'm just wondering if that would still be timely for our letter.
So I apologize. I thought we had agreed that we were going to do a letter on SB 9, and we were going to do a letter to oppose unless amended to be consistent with what the cities, Cal Cities is saying.
Yeah. Not arguing about the position, just that I'm just wondering if the letter is timely for the hearing date, given that it's today.
What I can do is I can find out what happened. I can find out what happened at committee. I don't see the committee notes posted yet, but I can find out what happened at committee, and if it's advancing or if it was re-referred, that in the letter would still be timely, then I can communicate that with you and then print it on letterhead and proceed with the submission.
I think that's a good idea. If it's appropriate to send the letter, and if it's re-referred, so much the better. If it's moved on, then we'd look at the next committee and who to send it to there.
Okay, great.
Thank you for that question. So let's say that's going to be our process. If we are too close to a date or something, then we'll try and get a letter in. And then if we can't, we'll do the process of reviewing what happens at the committee and make a decision on a re-referral or the next phase. Does that sound reasonable?
Yep, that sounds good.
Okay, so thank you for that.
And also just a quick logistical question. You've got Senator Wiener as the person to whom that letter is addressed. I know he's one of the principal authors, but I just want to make sure that we weren't missing Senator Atkins or one of the other ones.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think the reason why it was addressed because it's in the bill was currently in the Senate Housing Committee, and he's the chair of the Senate Housing Committee. So I think that's why I had it addressed as such.
So that's another good question, process wise. My habit, nothing more than that, is that we always address it to the committee chair with a CC to all of the authors and co-authors, as opposed to sending it to the author, because the purpose of the letter is to reach the committee. But if you think it should be otherwise, Councilmember Lopez?
No, I think that works. I would just add the CC, which currently is not there, and then also verify per the discussion we just had, if it's ultimately going to another committee, making sure that we update that.
Yeah.
And otherwise adding the CC.
Yeah, that's great, great. Okay, so Margarita, are we okay on process and next steps?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That's all part of our new committee learning curve. Thank you. Okay, and going back to SB 67. Since there is a committee meeting coming up, I think it would be nice to say support with amendments.
Yes, I believe I noted that from your earlier discussion on this.
And I will send you any comments from Silicon Clean Energy as to what exactly the amendments might be.
Okay,
The presentation was just last night. And I can give you, I think there were 4 points, three or 4 points. But I won't risk telling you what I remember. Okay. And then we're back on SB 619. And we are now at a point of saying that we're not going to take any action on it. We're going to wait and see. I'm thinking this is what we've agreed, Councilmember Lopez, that we're going to wait and see what happens at the committee because we don't know enough and it may just die at the committee level.
Yeah. That's right.
Margarita, you're okay with that?
yes, I understood. Thank you.
Okay. And then I wanted to bring up one that I think I sent out on yesterday. I'm going to sneeze, sorry.
SB 612?
No, SB 612, but there's another one, sorry.
Bless you.
Pardon me, thank you. I also want to be sure and touch base on SB 210, which is going to come up on May 14th. So we have time on this one, but I wanted to make sure it was on our list. Okay. So 612 is one that I think can't formally discuss, but because of the time frame of the hearing coming up, I will do a letter on that one. Okay. And anything else on any of the other ones? I think last week I sent another update from the Cal Cities, I think. We had a bunch of those.
The only update I had is one of the bills that was supported by the subcommittee and a letter was submitted regarding SB 15. So at the hearing on April 5th, that bill was placed in the suspense file.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna have to set up a special folder so I can keep track.
Liz, the Cal City ones that you sent out yesterday was SB 210.
Yeah, there was one before that that listed 3 or 4, and I'm not sure if we've already covered those or not. I was just trying to backtrack.
I could get my hands on it here. Bear with me.
That's what I'm looking for too. Okay. And going forward, any new additions Member Lopez?
None from me right now.
Okay. So if you have any new ones that you'd like, just send an email to the four of us or the three of us. And then we'll all try and get up to date on them. And I have a feeling we're going to need some meetings coming up, continuing fairly quickly because things are moving fairly quickly. And let's see. I think that's
Yeah,
it. And SB 5.
I have an email from you regarding AB 1401 that was sent yesterday. Is that the one you were looking for?
Could be.
It's the parking it's AB 1401 regarding residential parking requirements.
Yeah, I know that's one, yeah. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that one. I don't know if it's on our list or not.
What was that number, Margarita?
1401, AB 1401. Prohibits cities from enforcing parking requirements on residential and commercial properties.
Okay,
They're calling it a bold proposition.
It's very bold, and we can talk about it. So we'll follow up and make sure that there's time to have another meeting. Otherwise, I'll take a look at it and make a recommendation on a letter. I don't see that on our list. The Cities Association Legislative Committee met last Thursday, and Senator Berman was there to try and build support for his legislation. We've already sent in a letter of oppose, if my memory serves me right.
It has not been, there's no, so that bill doesn't have a hearing date scheduled. And what I've been sending is the 3 or 4 bills that actually had hearings scheduled. So I have that bill as well as Assemblymember Lowe's energy bill that have positions taken by the subcommittee, but the letters haven't been sent yet. But there's no scheduled hearing yet either for those.
Okay.
That's why I prioritize them. I've left those two that don't have any hearing date scheduled as of yet.
Okay, all right, so am I right, Brian? We can't talk about these unless they're specifically listed in the agenda, right?
no, I think for purposes of adding them, we could talk about it. I think that's fair.
Okay.
I mean, we're talking about all the legislation. These are just the ones that we have agreed to watch already. I think if there wants to be a discussion, we can do that.
Okay, so so on the SB 212, if you may remember, that's the one that Silicon Valley Clean Energy and all the CCAs are supporting, working with quite a few legislators to take care of a legacy problem. The CPUC has been working on it for a year and a half and has not yet set a ruling on it. So we're still pursuing the CPUC ruling, but the legislative option may be what's necessary. So so far, that's an important piece. It will help control the cost of that PG&E passes on. It's a black box of cost, legacy costs that PG passes on. So this is trying to open up the black box and make them more accountable for the charges that they make.
Mayor, what was that bill number? Did you say SB 212? Because that looks like a
SB
different bill.
612.
Okay,
Sorry.
thank you.
SB 612. Yeah, and then Becker's bill, the SB 67, just a little more information. Again, it's technical in what it's trying to do, but what it ends up doing is it puts an unintended consequence on CCAs to have to absorb costs. The IOUs by business definition in state law can pass on legacy costs. The CCAs cannot. And this legislation is intended to help resolve a lot of things, but it actually makes that aspect worse. So that's why it's a good bill. It just needs to be cleaned up. Okay, and then SB 210 is a Wiener bill. And this is the one where the cities, the SoCal cities says to oppose. It says cities are urged to submit letters in opposition to SB 210, which would require local automated license plate reader data that does not match a hot list to be destroyed within 24 hours. This measure does not respect the significant administrative work that goes into reviewing license plates data manually as law enforcement agencies work around the clock to solve problems. So this is a good one to talk about in terms of what the scope of our committee is. Brian, would you have an opinion as to whether this fits our scope of this committee, or do we need to go to council to clarify a little bit more about what the committee should be doing?
I'm not sure it's really clear that's within our discretion. I would agree. That would probably take council action on.
Yeah, I sort of think so too. Okay. All right, so Councilmember Lopez, on some of these that might be outside of the committee's purview, we can keep track of. And if you think it should go to council, or I think it should go to council, we just need to be able to recommend to staff to do that in a timely manner to get on a council agenda.
Yeah, which may be difficult.
But yeah, exactly. So, I mean, please.
Right now, I'm not necessarily seeing the need for that one to go to council.
I'm inclined to agree with you. It's just a good example to discuss how we want to handle things.
Yeah.
It doesn't directly, well, let's see, does it directly affect finances of the city? Let's see, well, it does. So isn't part of our charter is anything that affects the operation and income of the city?
Yeah, generally. So how would it?
It says the measure does not respect the significant administrative work that goes into reviewing license plate data manually as law enforcement agencies work around the clock to solve crimes occurring in our community. This bill is currently being held in the Senate Appropriations Suspense file.
Yeah, I could talk to Gary some more about this. My understanding is we're not using license plate reader data right now anyway. We're not manually, what a lot of cities doing are they're rolling a police car down the street or parking it, and it's capturing license plate data automatically and populating a database. We're not using that system right now.
Okay, it's just an interesting lesson learned one, I think, for the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else from anybody? No.
Not from me right now. Mayor, did you or did the rest of the subcommittee still want to discuss 556?
Yes, but we're going to let you go.
Okay.
So I was checking.
Sounds good.
Anything else that you need before you vacate the premises?
Not for me, but I appreciate the process we're working out. I think it's been helpful, and if there is one that comes up, I'll follow your suggestion and email that out.
Perfect. Okay, Nicole. Thank you. And thanks.
Okay, thank you. I'll hop off then.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you.
Sergio.
Okay. Appreciate the help, Margarita. So SB 56, the street pole traffic signals and wireless.
Yep. This is a good, I would say a very clear example of something that's within the subcommittee's parameters in terms of impacting local control. When I talked to Public Works in particular, they had concerns because the bill specifically said, right now the FPPC regulations, they can put parameters around where they won't allow the equipment. And right now they're saying no on the traffic signals, but this bill would allow it on the traffic signals, which is a concern because they're one, crowding, but two, there may be interference with equipment that is necessary there for
Oh,
safety.
interesting.
Yeah, so this is a very big, a big concern for public
Yeah,
works.
Liz, this speaks to the master license agreement that we we're trying to deal with, in that, you know, they've been leery about telling us where there's a need, and if they shared with us the area, we can help find the best location. They don't like that. They don't want to share that data with us. They just want to have free reign to any of our facilities, regardless of what's best for us. And we think the master license agreement's a better solution that we could work through.
I remember that point when we were first talking about that master license agreement. I do specifically remember the issue about them not wanting to tell anybody anything and just wanted carte blanche.
Yep, that's what this speaks to.
Okay. Okay, so time-wise, do we need to get a letter? And this would be an opposition letter?
Yeah, it's going to committee next week. So I have it drafted already. You're here. I could print it and you can sign it and I can send it in today.
Let's do it.
Excellent.
Okay. Yeah, I've got the draft letter right here.
Yeah, let me print it for you on letter.
Okay. Okay, thank you for that. Okay. And I think that does it.
All right, team.
Thank
We're
you.
starting to hit our stride here. It only took us a couple of years.
We'll get it. We'll get it to a nice rhythm. Appreciate it very much.
Appreciate all your hard work, Margarita. I know it seems like it's just a boilerplate letter, but I know there's a lot that goes into each and every one of these. So
Yeah.
I want you to know that we recognize that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Do I have this on video?
It's on YouTube, so it might.
It's live.
All right.
I will be
Thank
linking to
you.
it on my resume.
Thank you.
All right, take care. And I'll wait for you.